guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Subaru of Newport Richey, and I'm here for me. I'm standing next to this 2019 WRX STI because guess what? I'm teeter-tottering on whether I should get rid of my RS and go back with an STI. So let's talk a little bit of Subaru history before we even get anywhere with this. Subaru has been around here in the United States since 1968. It was Malcolm Bricklin, who actually made his own car, believe it or not, that brought Subaru to North America. He's Canadian. But anyways, 1968, in 1993, something very special happened. Subaru made the Impreza. They were World Rally racing with the Legacy. Rules changed. Now they were ready to run the Impreza, and in WRX and WRX STI mode, it ruled the roost on the different stages of the World Rally Championship. Multiple championships of Colin McRae, Petter Solberg, lots of fans around the world. And when they were asked, when you think of a blue car, what car do you think of? People say Subaru. That's what it really meant, that World Rally blue color. Now this one is dark gray metallic, which is another sexy color that I'm actually contemplating. But I also, of course, I'm a very big fan of that iconic World Rally blue. Over the years, things have changed with the Impreza. It's no longer called an Impreza. There's no Impreza name on this car anymore. We're waiting for a redesign that's coming. Supposedly, it was supposed to be 2020. That's not happening. Supposedly now, maybe it's possibly 2021. But you know what? The first time that we received a WRX here in the United States was 2002. And STI was 2004. But once they started coming here, more and more people fell in love, and it's really a nice close-knit group of Subaru owners when you're driving down the road to give a nice wave and to get a wave back. But let's go ahead and focus on this one and find out what I love about this Subaru. So like I said, right off the bat, dark gray metallic, love the color. Now for 2018, this is a 2019, no change between the two really, except for a couple things which I'll get to. They updated the headlight design. They gave adaptive headlights. They turn with the steering wheel. Bright LED daytime running lamps. That took away the fog lamps. Subaru says that's enough light. I wish they would have left fog lamps because this is a very large, non-functional plastic grille. Now, if I was to get this car, there are some options to change this out, which we could talk about if I do get the car. But that's one area I'm gonna zonk this. I don't like these large fake grills, just like on a Civic Si or a Type R. But anyways, as we come across the front, I love the nice shaped grille, that dark, it's like a dark gray metallic grille. It's kind of hard to see because it's overcast, but I love the shape of it. I think it was so smart the way they went flat black all in this area because it's gonna help take a better beating. And I like the flat black look. It really gives it a more aggressive, wider look to it, even though the front of this car is not any wider than a 2017. But from driver's side all the way to passenger, very nice, good looking car. When we get up under the hood, there's that iconic hood scoop. Now, if you've ever wondered, why do they have a hood scoop on Subaru WRXs and STIs? The reason why is the intercooler, because this is a turbocharged intercooler car. Intercooler sits on top of the engine, flat 4. Engine is lower in the frame, which allows more room to put that intercooler. It's gonna force feed air. There are people who upgrade for more power. They take the intercooler from the top and put it up front. It's something that you can do, but from the factory, it's coming up on top. Now, as we slowly come around the bend here, I do like the very distinctive lines as we come around. Wheels, absolutely, positively love these wheels. Now, one thing that I would do if I was buying this one is wheels are gonna get powder coated. I want to powder coat them gold. And when I say gold, I'm not talking about bling bling gold, talking about that rally gold that was the same gold tinge on the World Rally cars. I think it would pop well with the dark gray metallic. You have the large 6-piston Brembo calipers, that day glow yellow. I would get those powder coated silver. I think that would look really sharp with a gold wheel, flat gold wheel. This is a 19-inch wheel. First time in 2018 that a STI had a 19-inch wheel. Also the first time that we have 6-piston calipers and cross-drilled and fully ventilated rotors. So this Subaru STI is going to stop like none before it, over and over and over again. And that's very important because it's not just about going, it's also about being able to slow down, especially if you're doing a track day. Now, as we continue down the side, I love the mini flared out front fender, and then you can see the STI badge. STI, Subaru Technica International, such an iconic logo on that flared out portion of the fender. Now, one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is I feel like the side of the car is a little tall when it comes to the windows, a little tall from the top of the door to the top of the roof. I wish it was just a little bit lower. And of course, just like a lot of you, I yearn for a 22B, an STI 22B. That really is my dream Subaru. But this one, very nice as well. You can see the sill that's been extended out. This is all for aerodynamics. It's not just for show. As we work our way back, full 4-door capability, going back to probably one of the most iconic parts of any STI is the large wing. Now, if you see this on a WRX, that means somebody put it there that they shouldn't have, because a WRX doesn't come with this wing. Now, if you don't like the wing, you can get a wing delete where you get a nice kick up on the trunk lid spoiler. But this wing is functional at around 80 miles an hour. It's going to help provide downforce. It's good looking, and what I really love is when you're driving it, it does not block your view out the back window. Now, as we drop down, you can see the clean tail. Now, the tail of this car has not been changed since 2015. LED brake lights, you have the symmetrical all-wheel drive. Remember, full-time all-wheel drive. Now, what's separate from an STI to a WRX is the center differential. This has a computer-controlled center differential to help transmit power. That's different than on the WRX. You have the lower diffuser and a nice quad tip exhaust, and then of course another iconic STI badge. It's that cherry blossom color because of the cherry blossom trees over in Japan around the STI factory. But we talked about the outside. Let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's different. All right, guys, hood is popped on this rally car. What's nice is you get hood struts, so you don't have to worry about a prop rod or anything. What you're looking at is pretty much the same engine since 2004. That is that EJ 2.5 liter flat 4 engine, turbocharged for 2019. Horsepower has been bumped up to 310 horsepower. Other changes for 2019 include a revised ECU. Also, third gear in the famous STI gearbox has been revised as well for quicker acceleration. I love when you pop the hood on an STI, you just see all the bits. It's not a bunch of plastic. You got the large intercooler, that reddish powder coating on the intake plenum, and it's a good looking engine. The reason why Subaru just uses that flat 4 technology is because it keeps the center of gravity very low. Another thing that I love about this Subaru is that they still use a hydraulic steering rack. What that means is hydraulic fluid is pumped through, and that's what it's going to assist you as you're turning the wheel. What that does is it gives you way better feedback than if this had electric steering on it. So that's a big plus that I love. Obviously the 5 extra horsepower, whoopity-doo-dah, they should have really bumped it up. Of course, they have coming out very soon the S209, 342 horsepower. Even that's still a little lacking at $65,000. I would have liked to have seen this 350 foot-pounds of torque, just like my RS. But like I said, this is something I'm thinking about, getting rid of the RS and getting the STI. Let's go ahead, fire it up, and hear that boxer rumble sound. All right, guys, we're inside this 2019 STI. Should I drive it home? I'm thinking about it. This one, though, is optioned pretty close to exactly the way that I would want it. MSRP on this one is around $41,000 and change. It's got the short throw shifter that's been added. Obviously, some other things that we're going to show you along the way. But let's go ahead and take a look at what does the interior look like on an STI. So as we go the door panel nice and slow, you can see the gloss black. That's been something that is added for 2018 and 2019. It used to be a faux carbon fiber look. I like it. I know how you guys feel about the fingerprints, but I'm over it. Alcantara though, all over that upper portion with the red contrast stitching. Really, really love it. They brought up the quality of materials. As they come to the dash, very soft material on the dash. You got more of that piano black. We have the dual infotainment system set up. So you have the gauge cluster up top. I like what they did by doing the leather hood with the red stitching, and then you have a boost gauge that you could actually go through and look at all sorts of different functions with what the car is doing. That is a great setup. I absolutely love that. Infotainment is a little lacking. It's a little behind the times. It is very fast reacting when you slide your finger and whatnot, but the fonts and the colors are a little dated, and you know, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is awesome, and you can find home very easily. Simple AC controls, but you know what? They work, and it's dual climate. It shows the temperatures up top as you go back and forth. Wonderful size cubby. I wish they had a lid. You have the plug that you have to remove for the 12 volt. You see this little STI right here? I love that. At night it lights up. So that's a really nice touch. You can see the addition that they put with the leather and the contrast stitching. I love the shifter in this thing. The knob could be a little bit bigger, but you know what? With those short throws, this thing is so mechanical, and it makes a nice little sound to it that you just don't get in a lot of other cars. You really don't, and I miss that. My RS, this transmission I like better than in my RS, I'll be honest. Right here, this is our SI drive. So you have Sport, you have Sport Plus, that's gonna adjust how the throttle is and all that good stuff. And here's where you can control that center, computer-controlled center diff. My advice is just leave it in auto. A lot of times people like to put it in lock and stuff. Unless you're on snow or dirt or gravel or something like that, or sand, leave it alone. If you put it in full lock on asphalt, you will burn up the diffs. I promise you that. Sliding lid, 2 cup holders. You got a tasteful, I'm telling you, they really updated. I like the way they updated the key fob on this. It's a very, very nice touch. We'll put those back in here. Heated seats, little armrest with the 12 volt and USB. And then this is really probably one of my favorite parts. I like the way they upgraded to Recaros. The only problem is the backs are Recaros, not the bottom. So there could be a little bit more bolstering. They're not very tight compared to the stock STI seat. Stock bottoms. I do love the feature though of the Alcantara with the leather, and check it out, red seat belts, nice extra touch, loving that kind of stuff. Why don't you come on over to the business end and I'll show you what I love about this STI. All right guys, business time behind the wheel of this STI. I love the overall feel of what you're doing when you're behind the wheel of an STI. Like I showed you before with the seats, they are a little bit more bolstered on the top, same exact bolstering on the side, and there's really not much. So something just to be aware of. This is a full power 8-way positional seat. I do really like that. I love the steering wheel, the size, the shape, the thickness, flat bottom, little bit of gloss black with the STI logo, spot on. The controls are very easy to use. This does have push button start, of course, which is a nice touch. And then the gauge layout, spot on. They look very upscale. I love the analog tack with the STI logo there, the speedometer. In the center is where you could adjust the SI drive and all the different controls. This one also has a frameless auto dimming mirror, which is very important. And I like the way it's the upgraded one where the buttons are on the bottom instead of facing outward. No sunroof. I don't want it. I don't need it. What I do need is this. You hear that boxer rumble? What gives this car that boxer rumble is, remember, it's a horizontal engine. So the pistons are going back and forth like little punching gloves, hence boxer. And what gives it the rumble is the headers are unequal length. What that means is, think about it, unequal. They're not the same length, gives it that distinctive sound. I hate to say it, if they're equal length, you'd actually get more power, and that's why a lot of people swap those out. I'm not gonna show the back seat. If you wanna see that, you can see one of my other STI reviews, but I do wanna show the trunk because I'm very impressed by it. Let's go check out the trunk of this STI. All right guys, like I said, one of my favorite parts of an STI, believe it or not, is the trunk, and here's why. You open it up, very large opening, very deep. Of course, those seats are gonna do the 60-40 tango, and Subaru knows its owners. They know you wanna track this car. So what you could do is you could actually fit a full set of tires and wheels, mounted tires on the wheels, a jack stand, and some other stuff for your track day with no problems. Yes, you're gonna have to put the seats down, but you know what? All of that will fit nicely out back. So just think about how doing your daily grocery shopping, you'll be able to fill this up. You could go to Costco and get the really big bottles of ketchup and mayonnaise. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this STI for a spin. All right, guys, we left Subaru Newport Richey. We're in the 2019 WRX STI. It feels like I've come home. I love the seating position. It's so nice to see out the windshield. And of course, the power from that flat four. They've really done a great job with the tune on it, that is for sure. Compared to my 2015, I had a 2015, this one is a 2019, so they did remap the fueling, and they've also revised third gear, and I definitely, just pulling out, can feel the difference with that. But overall, just love the seating position. The steering wheel is great, the shifter is amazing. Just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful setup on this car. All right, guys, we're in second gear, on throttle, third. You can feel the boost, and that's what I love about the STI, is you just roll on that throttle, you get in that higher RPM, the boost kicks in, and you are off and running. Great steering feel from that rack and pinion I was telling you about, hydraulically assisted. Absolutely, positively love this car. It's really, really tempting, and you know, I may trade in the RS and pick this up. We'll have to wait and see on that. But we're gonna get back to Subaru Newport Richey and wrap this up. So I'll see you guys in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another magical day here at Subaru Newport Richey. I'm still on the fence of what to do, but you know what? It's all about me coming out to the dealerships and taking a look and really diving deep into where do I want to be for my next vehicle. Stay tuned as we progress and I try to figure it out. Would love to hear input from you, so put that in the comment section. Definitely going to thank Spencer and everybody here at Subaru Newport Richey. Allow me access to the great vehicles that they offer. Also, definitely got to thank the followers of the channel. If you have been a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you aren't not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button before you head on out. I promise you it'll be worthwhile coming back for more. If you want to help us out and keep this great content coming for you on Ladies Rides, click the link in that description. Takes you right to Spreadshirt. Of course, we got to thank O'Neill, getting better and better, stronger and stronger with that camera. He's actually at home with a mock camera system with weights on it to get himself stronger physically, mentally, and also spiritually. So thank you, O'Neill, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.